I was born in the womb of a scornful mother.
British to me is the monarchy. I'm a fan of the royal family and I like following them.
I'm the kind of person that listens to Radio 4 quite a lot. I think that's quite a British thing.
My mum's technically British because but even though she, like I said, she was born in Bangladesh, but she went through the whole process of naturalisation. She has a British passport now, so by law, she's British.
I've been raised here to always call myself British.
I see British as a cup of tea. I couldn't cope without a cup of tea first thing in the morning, and yeah, English tea.
It is hard for me to go see my mum, my dad, my brothers, financially or emotionally. You can always go and get help from somewhere. Where I come from, that's not necessarily the case. A lot of people just find themselves with nowhere to go, or they can't fall back on anyone.
I'm Greek Cypriot, so for me, when I go over to Cyprus, you're known as a Charlie, which basically means you're an English Greek, which they don't, so you're not really fitting in with them because they can tell from a mile away that you're not from Cyprus, but then obviously you stand out differently when you're in the UK.
I listen to the Archers. I walk through the streets of Bolton. That's where I'm from. I've grown up here. This I think like a British person with a flavour of the Asian background. I dream in English. Am I British or am I Asian? I couldn't really be one or the other. I'd say I'm a strong blend of both. You couldn't extract one and leave the other with me.
So arguably I should be a hybrid, but I feel like I lean more towards my Asian culture. You get like two spectrums. I feel like you get people who are very like in tune with their Asian culture and they embrace it and they're not embarrassed about it, because I feel like that was what I found difficult growing up a lot. I felt like I was embarrassed of my culture. There are other people of the spectrum who kind of resent their culture completely, their Asian culture, and they're very like people whose Britishness wouldn't be questioned.
However, I don't personally see myself as a hybrid because I'm quite westernised, so I wouldn't even put myself within the Asian culture, and actually if you put me in that situation, I feel really like excluded and not felt as part of like their community. So I wouldn't say I'm a hybrid. However, if you just saw me, people would call me that.
Yeah, I think there's a spectrum of hybridity as well, I would say. But yeah, just to me, I think it means just the mixing of cultures, but there's definitely, it's not as like a straightforward 50-50, like I'm equally British, I'm equally Asian.
Talking about the weather and always complaining about the weather, whether it's hot or wet or cold or snowing.
Sometimes as well, I don't feel like I've been considered Asian enough. Like, I think that's what it is. It's not enough. I'm not British enough. I'm not like Bengali enough. People would see me as being less British because I'm not of a certain skin colour, maybe. I don't look typically English. But I think I didn't register that people would see me as not being British until I got older.
I'm of African Caribbean ancestry, and although I was born in Lewisham, South East London, I've never been made to feel that Britain or England is my home. So for me, being British is more political than anything else. I'm just a subject of the British Empire and that history that goes with that. On the matter of cultural hybridity, that's kind of an easy one for me, because once I say I'm not British, and I certainly don't associate myself with being English, I do always claim that I am an African, I am Jamaican, and I am South East London. And I suppose in the context of hybridity, all of those identities speak to who I am, what I am, and how I see myself in this contemporary historical moment.
I think that we have quite a big impact on the rest of the world. Obviously, back in time and back in history, the British Commonwealth was obviously a much bigger...
I'm more Asian than I am British. I eat curry every day. I don't know if that... yeah.